From Toronto, Canada, it's the Up and Adam Show. I'm Stu Jeffers, and now, here's your host, Adam Lupus.
Hey everybody, welcome back everybody to the Up and Adam Show. My name is Adam Lucas, guys. By the time this episode comes out, Italy will have either beaten or lost against England in the 2021 Euro Cup Finals. I'm hoping and praying Italy won, because again, this episode's coming out at 8 p.m., about 5 hours after the game. So I don't know, guys, but I'm already way ahead of all you guys. Look what I brought out. Come on. I brought the champagne for my bros. All right, guys, back on topic. Again, welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. I'm your host, Adam Lupus, of course. Guys, my first guest tonight is an amazing singer. His name is Sal Valentinetti, also known as Sal The Voice. He was a Golden Buzzer winner on America's Got Talent, and all for the right reasons. Guys, check out his performance right here.
For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows Sal took all the blows. I did it my
Wow. Amazing, guys. On top of being an amazing singer, Sal's also an amazing guy. We have so much in common. We're both old souls, of course. As you already know, I'm like a 6-year-old in a 22-year-old body. Well, I mean, I'm skinny and small, so I would say like a 14-year-old body. But yeah. Besides that, guys, he's a great guy. We had a good conversation. We both dress nice. We're both Italian. Both got great hair. And speaking of the dressing nice, you know, Sal is actually a great golfer, as you could tell by his attire in the episode. No? Sal, you're watching this? Guys, listen. Sal's not the best golfer, but Sal, I have to say one thing to you, okay? You better learn how to play some golf, because Joe Pesci is a great golfer and he loves golf. And if you want to connect with him, and if you want to meet him one day, you better bone up on your putting skills. That's all I got to say. Guys, Luke Smith's also back for another movie review. This week, Dead Ringers, the 1980 thriller by David Cronenberg. It's about two gynecologists who do everything together. They live together. They sleep together. No, they actually don't. But they're also identical twins, which is kind of the whole psychological twist in there. And when a movie star comes in there, they both fall in love with her. And it's a crazy story because it features two of the same people going after the same person. Now, I haven't watched the film yet, but Luke said it's a great film, so you guys are going to love it. Make sure to tune into that segment tonight. Also, The Bad Batch is back tonight, guys, for another conspiracy theory. The last conspiracy theory of the month. Next month, they're doing something different, so we'll have to see. I'm going to surprise you guys. But tonight, they talk about the conspiracy behind AIDS. Now, guys, AIDS is a very serious topic, and obviously, they wanted to bring some light into the whole situation and for the whole thing, because at the end of the day, even though it was so bad, they brought up some good points to make it seem not as bad. Apparently, only 400,000 people have died from AIDS, which is something that Michael in the episode said, which at the end of the day, it's still a lot of people, but comparing it to people that died from COVID, it's about like 500,000 people alone. So yeah, hopefully those numbers are accurate. I mean, I'm just going by what Michael said. But anyways, guys, it's a great episode nonetheless. And they talk about if it was man-made or not. And again, I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist here, but it's a great episode. Make sure you guys tune into that and have a good laugh. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the show. Welcome back to the Up and Adam Show, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, I got a very special guest for you all today. And it's funny because I'm dressing a little different today. And just to kind of break it down, guys, I'm trying to do my best to look like Frank Sinatra. And the reason I'm doing that is because the guy with me today, he has a voice just like Frank Sinatra, if not better at sometimes, because, I have to say, Frank Sinatra's a legend, but this guy's a legend. So please welcome Sal The Voice Valentinetti. Hey, Sal.
How you doing, Adam? Listen, you look a lot more like Sinatra than me. I look a lot more like Jackie Gleason. I'll be honest with you. I was a big guy before they locked us inside with, with food and all that. You know,
You got a better head of hair than
hasn't
me.
helped.
You got a better head. Look at me. I got Zach
don't-
Morris.
Look at that. I have a better head of hair than you. Look at
do.
that. That's like you got a whole mop up there.
I do, yeah. I have the 90s streak, so I mean it doesn't make any sense when you're dressed in like the 50s, but you have hair from the 90s.
but Adam, this gel I put in my hair, who the hell knows what's in this gel? It could be like DET for all we know. And a few years down the road, God forbid, my hair's all gonna fall out anyway. So probably better to have it, I'm struggling for style here. It's my hair is like my identity. I think that's part of like the firstborn Italian son syndrome. I should have just went with a nice wave and some frosted tips. That's a nice look, Adam. I got to say, it's a nice look.
I appreciate it. And you know what? Many Italians, and I'm sure people in your family have lost their hair too, because every Italian can struggle with that.
Yeah.
Guys, if I'm talking to some Italians out there, you know what I'm talking about. And
oh yeah,
now,
what's great?
I got a good head of hair, but I might lose it though. Who knows?
Yeah. My dad is completely bald. My father's bald. My father's been bald since he was younger than me, right? And so growing up, and I never listened to what people say. Oh, it's your mother's side, right? Because
the mother's father. I don't know. It's all
right.
bullshit.
My mother's father was also balding, when he passed away. And I said, oh my goodness, I have no hope. I better do something with this, So maybe I figured maybe the gel would like fossilize it and it would stay, like it would become some sort of artifact on top of my head and not go anywhere. Maybe we could protect it under like with the Smithsonian or something like that. But that's what I figured. But my I thank God, I still have this hair. And so I go to my mother. I'm like wondering, who's got the good hair. And she shows me a picture of her grandfather, her mother's father.
Yeah.
And this guy it was all white by the time he was, older and appearing in photos.
Nice head of hair,
like this. But a nice head of hair. And I said, okay, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope. So I'm holding on to that little hope. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to fossilize it as best I can.
Fossilize. I like that term. I'm going to fossilize it.
That's right. You watch, you listen. You're locked inside as long as we've been, and you watch enough National Geographic. You pick up a couple of words.
I was going to say, you like the terminology there. I'm learning
That's
things
right.
as I'm speaking here now. Cool.
America's Got Talent was like it was like my parachute out of college.
Yeah.
I pulled the string and said, "See you, losers," and hopped out. Right. And now being stuck, entertainers, we can't work. And so the last 4.5 years, I've been going around the world and people treating me like who the heck I am and all this. And now I'm just some schlub locked inside. I said, what do? I better learn some vocabulary, so I don't sound like a total moron on the other end of this.
You're doing
Fossilize. Great word.
You're doing that.
Great word.
Again, you're dressed like a golfer, so you're probably playing golf now.
I'm not. I can't play golf for crap, Adam. I do something that resembles golf. I swing the club at the ground until I see the ball hop up into the air. That's what I do.
That's a good technique. That's a good technique.
Listen. And I live fairly close to a really nice golf course. And what I do is in the mornings, I'll go down like an old man. That's why I'm dressed like for golf, because I'm really just like an old person. I walk down to the golf course and I walk around it. There's like a path that goes around the golf course. Yeah. And I'll circle the golf course. I'll look at the golfers. That's my day out. I can't golf anything. Everything hurts when I golf. It's a whole thing. I look really good with the cigar and the drink driving the golf cart.
I could picture that.
I could play the part.
Yeah.
But what it is, Adam, is, I'm a bigger guy. We've established that now a couple of times in this interview. And Florida is where I'm living now is very hot, especially during the summer. It's nearly unbearable. And so this golf stuff, it's nice. It's light. It looks good.
It has it's like breathable, right? Is that the?
Yeah, it's like athletic, but it's got a collar,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make any identity for myself like I'm Phil Mickelson or some big shot like that, but it's comfortable, and that's enough for me these days.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I like how you brought up the fact that you said you feel like an old man and stuff, because I mentioned earlier to you, it's that we're both old souls, right? And I actually just showed you this Frank Sinatra vinyl, and I'm a big
love that.
The reason why I wanted you on the show is because, and I mentioned I'm having Big Time Tommy on too, and he's your cousin, right?
something like that. Cuisine.
Yeah, like the Italian say he's my cousin, he's my this. Yeah, I mean, like
My cousin.
we're all family.
Listen, how do you explain? So what happened was it was America's Got Talent, and they were vetting us and going through, and they were like, well, who's Tommy to you? And I said, he's it's my cuisine. He's my confidant. My pal. And they go, so he's your cousin? I said, yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then a couple months later, they brought cameras to my house.
Yeah.
And now it was like all my cuisines and all my like actual family were there. And being Italian, I have this huge family.
I can relate.
And right. And the producers were trying to take down everyone's name and try to figure out like how this one's related and whose son is that, and whose godfather are you, and like
who's compare, who's compare,
right. And by the time the day was over, I mean, these guys were like, they looked like they had just been hit by a freight train. They were wide-eyed, and they came up to me like, Sal, well, how do we? I said, family isn't who you're born with; it's who you die for.
Yeah.
I said, all these people are here because they care about me, they love me, they want to see me succeed, and all these people, honestly, are such an important part of who I am. And that's where that comes from. I think when Italians refer to people who might not be biologically related to them as cousin, like when I talk to Tommy's mom on the phone, I say, hey, Aunt Terry, and aunt and uncle is also a sign of respect.
It's a respecting, yes.
Right. In an Italian household, when you say someone's my cousin, you've now made them family. And so whatever's good for you is good for them. Wherever you go, they get the same perks as you. If you sense, let's say you go and buy a car at a dealership, right? And then you want to send your friend, your very, very close family friend who you have dinner with twice a week and this and that, your kids are friends, you want to send them down to the same dealership for the same deal you got. Well, you call the dealership and you say, listen, my cousin's coming in. I want you to take care of him. That's
exactly. Right. Yeah.
That's right.
That's see, for me, so I'm Italian too. I may not look like it, and my last name doesn't sound like it. It's a lupus. It's a very rare, it sounds northern, but
what is Italian supposed to look? Are you supposed to look like a bowl of spaghetti? Is that what you're trying to say?
People say I look Middle Eastern more. Not that it's a bad thing, but I guess we all
look. My cousin was just here. He looks like what's the guy? Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the Boston bomber. He's got the big hair and the beard and everything, and the nose, and we all look Italian. Are you Sicilian or Calabrese?
No, I'm Calabrese, yeah.
Okay, so Southern Italians got a lot of Middle Eastern influence
because we're dark and we're short.
I'm not believing on. How messed up is that? We're in the South, and yet we got redheads running around. What does Italian look like? I think that's the best part about being Italian. We all look different. It's a festive culture. It's a culture that constantly celebrates, because it's a culture that's constantly adapting and evolving to new elements. Italy historically for the last couple thousand years has been invaded by the Vikings and the Greeks and the Moors and the everybody's had a piece of Italy. And now Italy is this vibrant, colorful mosaic of cultures that brings a little bit of the best part of each. You have the very excited and loud music of the North African and Middle Eastern culture, and you have a lot of the food is derived from, anywhere from Nordic culture to Spanish culture to Asian culture. Everything is just this big, wonderful tapestry. I think that's what makes it so special. So when you say you don't look Italian doesn't look like anything. Italian, it smells good, right? Whether it's your mother's sauce or the cologne your kumbari's wearing, it looks good. Whether it's your hair, my hair, Sophia Loren or whatever it is.
Oh,
It feels good because everyone's constantly welcoming you with open arms. It doesn't, I don't think it looks like anything. It's a lot of great stuff all
put
melded
together
into
because
one.
it's so, yeah, well, it's true because again, there's so many things, like even people who are not Italian, right? It's funny because, you know, a couple of my friends are not Italian, but they have Italian values, right? They love their
Yeah.
family. They do a lot of the traditions. They make tomato sauce too. It's funny. A lot of people, I always thought I was very naive, right? When I was younger, I always thought, oh, if people make tomato sauce, they must be Italian. But no, my neighbors, they're what is it? They're Polish, I think. They make tomato sauce every year, and it's like I
They
think
make it
that
out of the
we're in,
jar.
huh?
They make it out of the jar.
Probably. They probably go to the store. They go, hey, we made this. It kind of tastes like the one down the street, though. That supermarket, eh? No, we made it homemade.
We made this.
The label's on there. It's like it says it's from thing. The supermarket here, they're different names, but I'll just say
What's the Italian market up there? You're in Toronto?
yeah,
In
we have grande
Woodbridge?
cheese. We have grande cheese in Woodbridge.
Yeah, yeah.
Grande cheese, which is good.
And
We have-
there's another like a meat market that has a
Oh,
bunch of
there's a
specialties
bunch.
and
There's
stuff like that.
Siderno quality meats.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People, you'll go into those stores and you'll see people from all different cultures shopping there because who don't want to be Italian, Adam? Who don't want to be Italian?
And it's
I've
not.
been
Hey,
seeing it.
it's not cocky. It's good. We're a great culture.
No, listen, my friend Steve Moderano. I don't know if you've ever heard of Cafe Moderano in Fort Lauderdale,
Sounds
Florida.
familiar. I think you posted about it. I think you. Posted
He's a very famous chef. He's been on Kimmel and he cooks for Mario Lopez and all this. But he's not really a chef. He's a cook.
Yeah.
He no formal training. The guy came up, the old school way, selling sandwiches in South Philadelphia. Real
That's
old
awesome.
school Italian guy.
Yeah.
And every time he's cooking, every time he's got a bunch of people over, every time that you see he's celebrating around a table and breaking bread with people he loves, he goes, "Who don't want to be Italian?" Cuz I said, "That's
awesome.
great."
That's
Well,
awesome.
listen, every what's it called? St. Patty's Day, everybody becomes Irish.
Yeah.
So honestly, every Friday during Lent and every Sunday thereafter, everybody becomes Italian. So it's a beautiful thing.
It's
We're
awesome.
not it's not a cocky thing. We're proud of our heritage.
We're proud of it. Yes, that's
we're
exactly
proud
it.
of it.
That's exactly it.
That's the best part about it is, listen, I grew up in Long Island.
Yeah.
And Long Island's kind of a bubble because it's not New York City. You got guys who identify with Brooklyn, and I could very well do that. My family's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You got guys from Queens. You got guys and this is just of different parts of New York City. I'm not even talking about Italians from Connecticut. I'm not even talking about Italians from Westchester, from New Jersey, from Philadelphia, Delaware. Traveling and coming outside of that bubble has showed me that, no matter where I go, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Woodbridge, whether it's New Orleans, whether it's San Jose, California, you find one thing in common, even though these cultures are all a little different depending on which city you go to. The one thing that they all have in common is that pride. And so when we say everybody wants to be Italian, and we're talking about us and, the food, the people, the culture, the music, it's not because we're so cocky and we want to shove it in your face, but no, we're proud of it. And we want to take all those good parts about what we love about our culture and share it with everybody. And then that's why I'm sure that's why you do this show. That's why I do my show. That's the whole point.
It's to embrace it and to show people, to kind of inspire people too. And it's interesting that you're Napolitan because I heard in Napoli the best pizza, right? And
obviously we kind of invented it.
You invented it.
Listen. My favorite pizza is it's like a Brooklyn square, so it's Sicilian. It's a thick pie, but it's got andouille on it, so it's a little calabrese.
I knew you were gonna say andouille. I had a feeling. I don't know why.
Oh my goodness!
I love it.
How do you not like Calabrian food?
Yeah.
Calabrese food. It's like some of the best in the country over there. It's in Calabria.
It's really we like spicy shit though, man. I'll be honest. My dad too. He grows peppers in my backyard in the garden, which every Italian dad does.
That's my favorite part about it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, man. It's
you make homemade crushed red pepper.
Yeah. But my toilet takes a beating, though, I'll tell you. It's not fun, man. I'm telling you.
It's always pristinely white.
Yeah, and then my dad, I'll be like, Dad, did you put any hot stuff in this? Oh no, it's a little bit. I eat it, sweating. Oh,
I have a giant container of crushed red pepper, and especially like in South Florida, we're outside a lot, so we're barbecuing a lot. We're roasting a lot of vegetables and stuff like that. And I'm always using crushed red pepper on everything.
Yeah.
And my friends down here, they all have a little softer palates, and so they're like, did you put like something spicy? Yeah, but just a little crushed red pepper. You put this on everything. It's so good.
It is good. That's the problem. And you want to eat more, and then you're dying inside.
I did. One time we did little bruschetta, and half of them I put like with the bruschetta with the
tomatoes, onions, and stuff. Yeah.
And then the other half, I did the bomba calabrese, the vegetables in the jar, and
it's like a giardiniera, right?
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, it was so good. And I put a little what's that shop, that Calabrian? It's like Calabrian sharp provolone, like really good Calabrian cheese.
Orecchio.
I think so. Comes
something
in a big roll.
Yeah, and it's very sharp. It's very sharp.
Yes, very good. Yeah. And I'm putting. So I serve. Somebody picks it up. They bite it. They go, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
Yeah, but the cheese though should help. Apparently, milk helps with hot stuff. So I mean, come on.
Listen,
we gotta load that stuff up with cheese.
I like spicy. I like Calabrese food. I grew up. Long Island is like a melting pot of cultures. It's not just Italians. Of course, that's who we identified with. But I went to school with people from all different backgrounds, as you said before.
Yeah.
One of my friends, Sean Grover, was Indian, and they didn't eat meat, but did they like spicy stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember going to one of these birthday parties, and his mother was like, "Do you like spicy?" I said, "I love spicy." So she gives me these they're called samosas.
Oh, I love those. I love
Oh my, how do you eat them? I almost died. I saw my lips got numb, and my forehead got cold. The whole backyard started spinning.
You were seeing white. You're like, am I crossing over? What's going on?
Yeah, what is this? This is insane. It was nuts. But forget it. The Calabrese food is awesome. Listen, Napolitans, yes, we invented pizza the way it should be eaten, thin and crispy. The Sicilians, they think they perfected it with that, that thick. Listen, Sicilian pizza is I hate to say it's not real pizza. Real pizza is thin, round. It's the Napolitans. What we do. I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with this, Adam. But a real Sicilian pie with the breadcrumbs and the onions and like the cheese underneath the sauce and everything, you can't beat that.
Yeah,
you can't beat that. That's something else. That's
a whole different thing. Yeah,
it's a whole different thing. But I mean, it's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I don't get any really. Despite what I look like right now, I don't get a lot of good pizza down here. So,
I haven't been to Miami yet, but I got to come down one day just for everything.
Don't try the pizza. Come down for the Cuban food,
Yeah. Okay. Of course.
Miami's nice. It's like you crossed into another country, but in a good way. It's very culturally diverse. There's a lot going on down here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know about for us Italians. I might be going to Boca. Try to find some of us.
What do you want, Uncle Junior? Fuck this, I'm going to Boca.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember, it's like hey, Uncle Junior, how was Boca? Good. I don't go down enough. It's like that's not what I heard.
Yeah.
Remember when he was
That's not what I heard.
Uncle June gives head. World class. Amazing. Oh my God.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah.
That was the best.
But dude, the reason I brought up the pizza though is also because you used I'm not sure if you still do now, obviously, but you used to work at your cousin. Well, your cousin again. I don't know if it's your real cousin or the cousin like how we talked about, but at his
That's a
restaurant,
real cousin.
real cousin selling delivering pizzas, right? And I thought that was very interesting because again, you're embracing Italian culture and stuff. But it seemed to be like, from what I'm understanding, is that as a kid, you were always very ambitious. You had a personal music teacher that helped inspire you a lot. You're always surrounded by your family. Like your grandmother was a big inspiration to you, apparently, that I read about.
Oh yeah.
And again, like working with delivering pizzas, that's amazing. So like, I guess like, how did that all transpire into music? Because like again, like when you first thought to yourself, I have this talent. Like, what did you want to just drop everything and go? I'm gonna just go shoot for the stars here.
In my personal situation, ambition comes from, a need to kind of prove yourself.
Yeah.
I had such a big family. My mother had 7 siblings.
Yeah.
My father only had 2, but one of them had 4 kids, 10 grandkids, everything. You had to stand out somehow. So I knew that I needed to do something that put me on the map, right? I could never sit still as a kid. Like I was in, taking lessons in music and everything, but I was taking lessons on the horn. I never really thought that music would be even a practical enough career. I mean, you think about it, my parents are children of immigrants. And so, my mother experienced poverty firsthand, and she watched my grandparents struggle. My grandfather drove a glass truck. My mother did several different odd jobs, and my grandmother worked in a sweatshop. And so, my mother didn't, worked her ass off to make sure that wasn't the life that me and my sister lived. And at the same time, always put it in my head. Listen, you gotta do better than us. You gotta go and achieve something in the world, and make your mark and leave your mark. And imagine if I came home and told my mother, Ma, I love you. I know you spent all this money on Catholic school and you got big dreams for me, but listen, I want to be a singer. My mother would laugh me out the back door. She really would. And listen, it's not that my parents are not supportive. They're more than supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, every little thing that me and my sister looked at when we were younger, if my sister was interested in dance school, next day she was signed up. If my father passed by the school, saw me throwing a football around in the yard with the other kids, next day I was signed up for football. So it's not that my parents weren't supportive. I think they just kind of put it in my head that I really, really should do something on the right track. And I think it wasn't until, my teenage years that my parents saw how ambitious I really was.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old. I was in a horn lesson, playing the baritone horn, and the teacher goes, we had learned a bunch of classical music. My dad's mother was my dad's mother was born here, so she always had a liking, fondness for the American artists, Frank Sinatra and Jerry Vale and Vic Damone and Jimmy Roselli. Always playing Rosemary Clooney, Ella Fitzgerald, always playing that stuff in the house. And she had passed away at this point in my life, like 15 years old. And so I wanted to play something that me and her used to listen to. It was a Bobby Darin song. It's called Mac the Knife. And, I didn't know the name of it. And so I still, it goes like, oh, the shark babe has such teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly whites. The guy was like, what?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I was like,
I never heard that song though. The only one I know by Bobby Darin.
You never heard Mac the Knife? Mac the Knife is one of the greatest songs ever written.
I gotta listen to it because Call Me Irresponsible is the one I know by it.
Mac the Knife. Oh yeah, Call Me Irresponsible. Bobby Darin's a good tune. Upbeat, up tempo, like the way he does more. But Mac the Knife is one of the greatest songs ever. It was recorded by a few different people, Frank Sinatra, Louis Armstrong,
Oh yes,
Ella Fitzgerald,
classic, the legend.
Yeah, everyone recorded this song, and it was a song that I really loved. And he was like, "How much of this song do you know?" And I said, "I think I know the whole thing." And so he goes, "Okay." So he goes, "What key do you sing it?" I said, "I don't know. I don't sing it. I sing it in the shower." He goes, "Well, then where did you start singing?" I said, "Right here." So you're looking at it. My mother, having to grow up the way she grew up very, very smart, very, very hip to people's bullshit. And so the guy has me sing Mac the Knife, and the key modulates several times. And I don't know, it's apparently a difficult song to sing from memory. And, there were parts where he would back off the piano and I would just change keys and do the next bit, the next verse. And he was like, "What the hell?" So he tests me, because you have really good relative pitch and all this. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He goes, "I have to talk to your parents." So he goes up to my mother. My mother goes, what's the holdup? Lesson ran like 20 minutes late. This guy, he was like real listen, he was a doctor of music. He had a really expensive degree. I understand why, it was always time. We were 20 minutes over. My mother was like, "What the hell's going on?" He goes, "You should really consider getting Sal singing lessons." My mother and father look at each other. My mother's tone deaf. My father's never even heard me sing Happy Birthday, right? So they're looking at each other like, "What?" My mother goes, "My son can sing?" He goes, "Oh, yes. A little rough around the edges, but I'm sure, like how many parents have heard this line of shit before?" My mother looks at him and she goes, "Yeah, my son can sing and my daughter can juggle. Get the hell out of my house." And, my father like forced me to sing in front of family members and everything to see if I, like what they're talking about. Everyone's like, "Oh,
to see if they're just doing that or just trying to get more money out of you, right?"
And everyone was kind of like, "Yeah, no, he's good. He's good." Even like my Uncle Joe, again, not my real biological uncle.
Everyone has an Uncle Joe, though.
well, my biological Uncle Joe, my mother's brother, right, married my Aunt Maria, whose sister married my Uncle Joe, my other Uncle Joe. So my other Uncle Joe, who was younger than the rest of my mom and dad, my aunts and everything, and a bigger guy like me, I really took to him because he was a very confident guy, and I wasn't very confident at this point in my life. I was bullied, and after that, really, I wasn't really good at coming out of my shell. And this guy Joe really pushed me towards it. My other Uncle Joe, and even he was like, you got to do something about it. And I said, right. So that summer, the Barclays, the U.S. Open, the golf tournament, a big major golf tournament. It's funny, I'm wearing a golf shirt. They were playing across the street from my house. Again, I find myself near all these golf courses.
Maybe it's your sign to play for it, honestly.
Listen. And everyone says like I'd make so many good business connections if I played golf. I said, I'm so terrible at it. I went to golf lessons once. I went to 3 lessons with a golf pro.
Yeah.
Cost me like, I don't know, almost $500 for 3 lessons. You figure more once you get the shoes and all this crap. Right. And 3 lessons. The guy goes, "Listen, I'm going to refund you 1 lesson because you bought all the things. I don't think you're teachable."
You don't think? Wow. And it's funny. You would think of the opposite. He would want to get more money in. You could get better.
I told the guy this story. How this guy taught me how to sing. I said I wasn't taught how to sing until a few years ago, and now look at me. He goes, "Well, good luck with golf," right? So I grew up in Bethpage, and my childhood house was right by the golf courses there, and they were having the U.S. Open, and they were parking people in the park, and people who didn't have passes were being told to drive like, I don't know, it was like a half an hour away, park there, then get screened and put on a bus and brought back. These golfers are like, "I'm gonna miss Tiger Woods' tee time." They like yelling at the state police who were telling them where to go. And finally, I made up a sign that said "Park here," like in my driveway. I asked my dad, I'm like, "Dad, can I use the driveway?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?" Right? Park here for US Open, $50. And 15 years old, right? I couldn't even drive car. I didn't have a license. I didn't have a permit. And people are pulling in, throwing me keys to their BMWs and Rolls Royce and Bentley and all this.
You know what this sounds like? Remember from Goodfellas? It's like, look at me, I'm 12 years old. I can't even show the steering wheel. I'm parking people's Cadillacs. This is exactly what it sounds like.
Well, that's the thing. Henry Hill looked like a kid. I looked like an adult by the time I was 15. Italians were hairy and, we hit puberty at 8 years old.
We've established we're all Italians are not the best when it comes to the hair and stuff like that.
Yeah, my voice already sounded like this. I'm walking up to the window and it's funny. All the neighborhood kids were trying to get in on the racket because they all had driveways too. And these guys would pull up in their Mercedes late for their tea time and everything. And I'm down the block on the right. Where are you? I'm right here. He goes, "How much are you?" "I'm $50. He goes, "You're more expensive than the other kid." I said, "Go ahead, park with the other kid then." So they would come in and park with us. And then all the neighbors, because I had a big driveway. Yeah. And I was taking all the business from the neighbors and everything. And the neighbors, and these are adults now who are coming down the block and saying, "Sal, how do I get in on this?" So I said, "I'll tell you what, I paid my father to drop them off at the front gate from where they parked." Yeah. Right. And so I told the neighbors, I said, "Write your phone number down on a piece of paper, like draw a grid and write your phone number down and then cut it up." Yeah. Right. And charge $10 a head and pick people up and bring them, but totally illegal, by the way. This is all very illegal. You need a license in New York to taxi people around. Yeah. You need some sort of permit to park cars on your property. Like you need to be registered as a parking lot. This is the real old school way though. This is like right. The whole block now is working for this 15-year-old. Yeah. And I went out and like the next day after I made a little bit of money, I went out and bought the cops like all sorts of like coffee and donuts and pastries and everything. Wow, that's awesome. I ordered pizzas for them. And so eventually like people would come up and they'd get angry at the police. They go, "Listen, you could drive to Jones Beach, it's half an hour away, or you could park with this kid." So in a week, I think I cleared like $5,000. The whole neighborhood was like in love with me because everyone was making money hand over fist. The next block over, people were walking down from the next block over and checking this out because they were getting no action. And they were like, "What's the deal with this?" And they came down, they saw my operation, it got all bent. It was a whole thing. Oh. So after this is all over, right? It was towards the end of this ordeal was my 16th birthday. Okay. And now I'm old enough to go for my permit test and everything, and I can buy a car. And that's all I was thinking about was I'm going to buy a car. And, my other Uncle Joe comes over, he goes, "You should start singing like as a thing. Like you should go to like, I don't know, they have like Italian guys singing at like old guys singing at restaurants and stuff. You should go and do something like that." I said, "Absolutely not. That is the most embarrassing thing I could ever think of." So I got a job with my new license at a pizzeria, my cousin's pizzeria, right? Because I figured it's a good place to work if you know the owner and everything, a little more relaxed, plus free food. It's a perk, I'm all excited about that. Yeah. And I was delivering pizzas in a Cadillac, which is the most counterproductive thing you could do, Adam. I might as well light the money on fire, right? and why is it expensive on gas that way? Oh my God, are you kidding me? A Cadillac is terrible on gas. When your pizza delivery boy pulls up, what is he driving? Driving a Civic, he's driving a Corolla or a Prius, something smart that he should be driving, right? Because it's good on gas and it's reliable. Cadillac, it's terrible on gas, and eventually something's gonna break because it's a Cadillac, and you're gonna have to fix that. I'd be blowing all the money I was making on this car. And so my other Uncle Joe comes back to me, goes, "So now what?" I said, "I'll tell you what. Now I'm 17 years old. I said, I'll tell you what. You got a friend who owned a restaurant who wanted me to come and sing there on Friday nights." I said, "Absolutely not. This is we're talking March, right? Right around the time that the same year I was going to turn 17 and everything. I had just got my junior license working." Yeah. And I said, "Absolutely not. I'm not giving up my Friday nights. It's Lent. And Friday night is my busiest night delivering pizza. Yeah, I make my most, I make the big bucks on Friday. Absolutely. He goes, all right, Thursday night. It's dead, but what do I care? Go sing there on a Thursday night. So I go. I set up a little speaker. And I'm looking out into the restaurant. There's only 2 people there, Adam. I was so embarrassed. I was like, what? 2 people? I mean, not that anybody should know that I'm singing. I didn't even tell my friends I was doing this. Yeah. So I start singing and everything. I finish up the first set, and these 2 people are like now paying the bill and they're about to leave. The restaurant's about to be completely empty. And as they're walking out and I'm kind of wrapping up, they stop by the door and they turn, they look at me and they go, were you singing? I said, yeah. And they go, how old are you? I said, I'm 16, turning 17. And they go, you were really singing this whole time? I said, yes. And they go, are you going to sing some more? I said, well, I'm here for, it was like 8:00 at that point. I said, I'm here for another 2 hours. And they go, well, that's great news. We're going to call our friends. They called friends. They had drinks. Friends ordered food, whatever. Only 6 people there, right? They had 2 couples come down.
Yeah, but still,
so at the end of the night,
yeah.
At the end of the night, I go to the guy who owns the restaurant. I said, listen, I'm sorry. He goes, sorry for what? You tripled my business in one night. So he goes, I want you back here every Thursday night. And I would go there and I would sing a little bit. And then Friday, Saturday, I would deliver pizzas. Wednesday nights, I would deliver. Thursday nights, I would give my car a rest and go sing some songs.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it. Adam, I fell in love with performing. Mm-hmm. I fell in love with making jokes and bantering with the people and the regulars and everything. And, people would come in and request songs that I'd never heard of because I was only 17 at this point. And I would go and learn new songs and everything. And I really fell in love with it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to At the Box Office. I'm your host, Luke Smith. Guys, I'm going to continue starting out all of these videos from here on out. Thank you all so much for the support and the views. These past several videos with the changed format is very successful. And it's all because of you guys, because we have the best fans in the world. So thank you all so much for that. Now, guys, I'm going to continue talking about films that I love. Now, however, this movie is very appreciated. It has a very high Rotten Tomatoes score. It's got a lot of notoriety in all good ways, of course. It's very different from Bone Tomahawk in that way, because it's not a hidden gem. A lot of people love this movie. And it is not by a first-time director like Bone Tomahawk was. This is the first David Cronenberg movie I've seen. Now, for those of you who don't know who David Cronenberg is, you probably aren't as big of a film lover as me. David Cronenberg is very renowned for his weird body horror films, and then later into his career, his psychological thrillers. And we're going to be talking about arguably his first psychological thriller and his best film to date, in my opinion. Dead Ringers came out in 1988, and it stars Jeremy Irons as twin gynecologists. That's right, he is playing twins in the film, which, if you are an actor, you know that is very, very hard to do. I've definitely heard a lot of horror stories from sets about actors having to play dual roles and it being very challenging. Jeremy Irons knocks it out of the park. This is probably my favorite Jeremy Irons performance I've seen. But anyway, the synopsis of this movie in a general sense is Jeremy Irons plays 2 twin gynecologists, Beverly and Ellie Mantle, and they both run a practice together in Canada. And essentially what happens here is the brothers have this system set up where one of the brothers, Ellie, who is like the more socially forward, he's charismatic, but he's also kind of a douche. He seduces the patients and sleeps with a bunch of them. And then when he gets tired of them, he just sends them off to Beverly as Beverly's patients. And since they look identical, because of being identical twins, they essentially trick these women into sleeping with both of them. It's really messed up. It's probably every woman's worst nightmare, honestly, a scenario like this. And it's played out in the film. These are our protagonists, so they're not very likable right off the bat. But Beverly, the more sensitive one, falls in love with a new patient of theirs that they both begin to have relations with, an actress named Claire. And because of this, it kind of tips off the equilibrium between the 2 twins. Ellie essentially uses Beverly as a way to kind of balance his own weirdness out. And basically, Ellie is jealous of Claire and the attention and the love that Beverly's showing her. So it's pretty weird. That's obviously a pretty weird synopsis for a movie, but I think this film's absolutely fantastic. For one, the script is incredible. The relationship between Claire and Beverly is honestly very realistic for a movie like this, which is weird because of how weird the premise is, but it honestly plays it up very realistically, and you buy that these are real people. In the same way, the relationship between Beverly and Ellie could probably be a little troubling for twins to watch, if you have a twin and you're watching this movie. Probably a little freaky for you to go through, because basically this movie is a cautionary tale about how twins can sometimes become so much alike and so ingrained in each other's lives that they essentially become conjoined twins. Obviously not in the physical sense, but there's a lot of allusions to conjoined twins and how they share their same mind and personalities and stuff, and it really comes to play in this movie, and that's one of the central themes, and that's where it takes its horror from. David Cronenberg, up to this point, had strictly made body horror films, and this movie is not a horror movie. It's got some very creepy elements in it. It's very disturbing and unsettling, but it's all because of the psychological impact. There's very little gore. There's a little bit of surgical gore, especially near the end of the movie. But for the most part, it is just a very contained psychological thriller. And like I said, Jeremy Irons is fantastic. You know Jeremy Irons. He's freaking Scar from The Lion King. But he's done, obviously, more than that. Jeremy Irons is a great actor. And this is definitely his best role to date. Beverly and Ellie, it's insane. These characters, despite looking exactly alike, seem like two totally different people. And that's all because of Irons' performance. And it's very, very good. Also, the music in this movie is very good. It's almost kind of slow and orchestral. It reminds you of the score for Titanic, which is weird for a movie like this. And near the end of the film, when that kind of comes in, especially over the end credits of the movie, it's very unsettling, and it's used to great effect. Once again, guys, this is my favorite David Cronenberg movie I've seen. I'm going to continue to check out his catalog, of course. I think I'm probably going to watch The Fly next, because everybody likes The Fly, and I love Jeff Goldblum, so I'm definitely going to check that out. But guys, if you like this, then please consider subscribing to the Up and Adam Show channel. Guys, thank you as always for watching. We have the best fans in the world. Of course, thank you, Adam, for being the best and allowing me to be a part of this team. Thank you to the Bad Batch for just being a part of this team with us and becoming friends with us as well. And speaking of the Bad Batch, now on to them for this week's conspiracy theory. See you guys.
What's up, guys? It's Daniel.
It's Daniel, too. It's John.
And it's also Daniel.
And I'm Daniel. And we are the Daniel Batch.
And we are the Daniels.
Damn, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel. All right, so we're back here with another episode for Conspiracy Theory.
Conspiracy.
And this week...
What do you got for us, Michael?
This week, I'm coming out with a little banger, you know? Well, too much of a banger, you know what I'm saying. But anyways...
Explosion.
Explosion. Anyways. So, It's the 80s, okay? Everybody's living life. Everybody's loving life.
Mm-hmm. Lots of drugs, lots of sex.
Lots of drugs, lots of sex. Because, you know, when you're on drugs, you're doing sex, right? So
wasn't that called the... what was after the war? It was the period,
booms.
The boom. Baby boomers, because that's
that
why.
was way later.
Before?
But okay. So the 80s.
What do you mean before? Anyways, continue.
Everyone's eating shrooms and all that stuff and having sex, okay?
Can I get a picture of shrooms?
Can I get a picture of shrooms?
I'm gonna clean my room until I got high.
And, dude, what happens when you have sex? You regret it sometimes,
you
but
see
then
the miracle.
sometimes
You have to strap up, or else...
you have a baby.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay. So now the population is going up because everybody's just eating
Making
shrooms
love.
and making love in those minivans.
Yeah.
And
casual coitus.
it's the States. You know, there's a lot of population coming. They had the baby boomers already, all that stuff. So how are you going to get rid of this population, all these people?
Population control? Maybe something like
How
that.
are you going to control it?
You're saying another war? Is that what you're saying?
No, you create AIDS. I know it sounds messed up.
Wait. So what you're saying is AIDS was created.
Listen, people think that AIDS was given to you when you went for daily checkups, or not daily, or like your monthly checkup.
Bro,
The-
what?
In flu shots. And I forgot the other one was. But like technically, they were saying that the government formed AIDS and gave it to people, and they just threw it out there that some guy banged the monkey, and it just came around the world.
Okay, I didn't even hear the monkey thing.
And
to
do you
be
know what?
honest.
Just to play like on your side, that would be a fantastic way to control population.
It would.
In terms of like world domination.
No, but like
that's how
okay.
it is.
Think of it. Everyone has sex.
Whoa, whoa. Not everyone. Daniel.
When you're of proper age,
Yeah.
everyone has sex.
Exactly.
So, and not a lot of some
We're getting
people-
flagged. We're getting flagged.
demonetized.
Okay, go on with your points. You're saying something. It's
Okay, just go on.
Okay, but anyways, so I think that's how they controlled, or how they're trying to control. But here's another fun fact: only 400,000 people died from AIDS.
Oh, so that's a fun
What?
fact, isn't it?
How many?
400,000 people have died from AIDS, but 500,000 people just in America alone have died from COVID. So
Okay, yo, I'm gonna be honest. I thought like in the millions that people have died
No,
from
it's only-
AIDS.
taking, I found out today that was only 400,000.
Like, okay,
But taking the people,
it is a lot of people.
taking the people that we lost because of Easy. Can I get a picture? Freddie Mercury, get a picture.
Oh,
of
what was
Freddie
the
Mercury.
a lot of legends.
Who was
And
the
Michael-
basketball player?
Magic Johnson?
He
has
didn't
it.
die. He didn't die.
yeah.
He's still
No,
alive.
he's still alive.
He's telling the tale.
No, I'm just saying
Magic
he
Irving Johnson
contracted it.
picture.
Picture of Michael. I mean,
Michael Scott. So yeah, maybe. What do you guys think?
Okay, well, again, that's crazy because again, it's a very known popular disease. Only 400. Like that's not a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
but
not
here's
a lot,
the
but
thing: it doesn't really kill you. What it does, it weakens
Makes
your
you
immune
stronger.
system.
Well,
No, it
goes-
weakens your immune system. So it's not like you get it and you die right away. It
No.
you
gradually kills you.
Exactly. So that could be the reason why. You good?
yeah, bro, it's just
he
that's
thinks
crazy.
AIDS is a joke.
No, not at all. Come on.
Can I get that on the screen?
Hey, come on, man. It's a serious topic.
AIDS is a joke.
Pranks, laughs, pranks.
But yeah, I forgot. What do you think about AIDS?
I think it's bad. John, what do you think?
This water really wet.
What do you think? Wait, it stings.
This video is sponsored by Trojan.
Vagisil.
Can I get a picture?
Picture of Vagisil.
No, but
It's like the worst one to joke about.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, I think it could have been it's a good theory.
yeah.
I think if they
Yeah.
executed this, they did a perfect job. Because
Well,
400,000
okay.
is a nice
Like,
chunk.
I think it's
To
a
get everything-
good theory. Sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off.
no,
I think it's a good theory because like the creation of AIDS, traditional creation is fucking a monkey,
Yeah.
which is
So,
like pretty
bizarre.
like pretty bizarre
It
to
is
think
very-
of.
very
Like, it's
bizarre.
pretty
It's a great word.
crazy.
Peculiar.
So
you
like
can also say.
How do you get a monkey? You know what I'm saying? Go on.
no, yeah, it's just weird. Like
Just
Like,
gotta
it's
find
just-
the neck. It's coming with me.
I mean, it's possible that it happened, but it's just fucked up. Like it's messed up.
But yeah.
Who was it? He's gonna send it back to us. Do it again. Send it back.
We cannot use this.
Look, we're joking around.
Yeah.
It's a great theory in my opinion. I
Yeah,
think
no,
it's
honestly,
a good
it's
theory.
one of the
a
better
very
ones.
serious topic.
again, right now,
We're
in our
just trying to
times-
make light on the
Yeah,
topic.
in our times, we can easily compare it to COVID.
Yeah.
As you spoke about on the first week, that
Oh yeah,
COVID
3
was-
weeks ago.
yeah, COVID was 3 weeks ago. COVID was made up in the lab. So you can say the same thing about
Oh
AIDS.
my god. No, please, to put a serious pin in this, it is a very dangerous disease. Like I remember, like there was a documentary. I think it was in the Michael Jordan documentary.
Discovery Channel. Yeah.
It was Michael Jordan documentary when they
Totally
talked about
different
Magic getting AIDS. It was like very sad and everything. You know, and then Freddie Mercury you saw in the movie.
Yeah,
Even
It's
Easy.
very serious, of course. Like you know what I'm
easy
saying?
to. And, like, yeah.
But they did. There was a misconception with it, just like how there was a misconception with like how needles and vaccines give you autism, stuff like that, which is
Yeah.
100% false. There's a misconception that it was because of homosexuals, like when they have sex.
Yeah, that was another thing.
Which was again totally false, was never proven, just like another rumor.
Yeah.
But again, in the time, like you said, in the 80s, even in the 90s, it was very big. I feel like we don't hear about it
AIDS was dangerous
now.
because it's curable now.
Yeah.
Not curable.
It's not
but
curable.
Well,
It's,
lighten it up.
it's treatable.
Exactly.
It's not curable.
Yeah.
And
right?
like,
It's
thank God
treatable.
we have one of the greatest of all times, like Magic
Johnson.
Irving Johnson. You know, he's living with it, and he's doing well.
He's good.
It is
From what
it's
I-
good now.
His wife
You know what I'm
has
saying?
it. He has it.
Yeah, I've never heard of him like hospitalized or anything like that.
Probably
Like
in the
after
beginning.
after,
In the
after the
beginning,
times,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But after medicine, like it shows progress. You know what I'm saying?
There- Yeah.
But we want to know what you guys think about this one. This one's I know we laughed about it, but no, honestly, it's a very serious topic. But we want to know what you guys think
Give us your thought on AIDS. Let us know what
Yeah.
you think about AIDS, how you feel about AIDS.
in the description, in the comment below.
There's an ice cream truck outside, and
Yeah.
let's go get a lick, all right? We're signing out.
We're the bad guys.